should they buy a home or not? Definitely, I'm not of the belief that you should always stay on rent.
If you are owning a rented accommodation, then you can move from Gurgaon to Bangalore. Then after 3 years, you get a better offer in Pune, then you can shift to Pune also. Once you have decided that this is the city I want to stay for the rest of my life, or for let's say a considerable period, 10-15 years, then you can go for buying a home.
In 20 years, I'm sure there would be 2 to 3 bear markets that a person normally sees, where he would see his capital wipes out by
Right.
30 to 50%.
If you are not ready to bear that volatility, then you cannot bear the returns also.
Most of the people operate from the psychology that I have a home loan. What if I lose my job? नौकरी चली गई तो क्या होगा? और ये सोच के they keep repaying in the home loan.
रूट्स वर्सेज विंग्स, मैंने डिसाइड कर लिया रूट्स मेरे को चाहिए. नाउ आई हैव डिसाइडेड कि मैं इसी शहर में रहूँगा, यहीं पे मेरे को अपनी जड़ फैलानी है. नाउ अब घर कितने का लेना है और कब लेना है, मेरी पेइंग कैपेसिटी है क्या उतना लोन चुकाने की. तो देयर इज अ कंसेप्ट कॉल्ड डेट सर्विस रेशियो, कि आपकी ईएमआईज कितनी जा रही है डिवाइडेड बाय योर मंथली नेट इन हैंड पे. सो दैट रेशियो शुड बी
Let me start with a simple thought. Once you decide to hang your boots, you are financially independent and you have planned to retire. Do you want to hang your boots in your own home or somebody else's home? I am certain that you would want to hang them in your own home, a place that is of your own, a place where you feel happy and secure, a place which you have built. Yes, I'm talking about your own home. But often this home comes with an EMI of 20 years. So now the question is not if you should buy a home or not. The question is, when should you buy a home? Because a fire community believes that renting is better than buying a home. But at AMC, we believe that everybody deserves a home. So the question is not if, the question is when. So today I'm joined in by Mr. Vikas Yadav.
Hi.
And I'm Avdesh Mishra. And welcome to another podcast of Fire with AMC. Hi Vikas, how are you?
doing good. How about you?
I'm good, thank you. So Vikas, as you know, today's topic is very interesting and I guess it is close to everybody's heart that should they buy a home or not? When should they buy a home? And definitely, I'm not of the belief that you should always stay on rent. Though all the mutual fund distributors or financial influencers and financial gurus advocate that you should stay on rent instead of buying a home.
They show in Excels that renting is always financially makes more sense than buying a house. But we at AMC, we believe, have always believed from the start that don't buy a home just because of society pressure. Buy a home once you have decided that you want to stay in a particular place. You have explored your options, like what we say, wings versus roots. Like, so both have their own pros and cons, renting versus buying a home.
So when you say wings versus roots, what exactly do you mean by that?
So like wings is like you have the flexibility to move wherever you want. So if you are owning a rented accommodation, then you can move from Gurgaon to Bangalore. If you get a better offer in Bangalore, then you can move to Bangalore. And if you then after 3 years you get a better offer in Pune, then you can shift to Pune also. But if you buy a house, you spread your roots there, then it becomes a little bit difficult to manage multiple properties. And again, since you are buying a house, you may be paying an EMI on that, and then you have to rent another accommodation. So it becomes a bit complicated. So once you have decided that this is the city I want to stay for the rest of my life, or for let's say a considerable period, 10-15 years, then you can go for buying a home. That is clear cut an option. Yeah.
Right. So I believe that's right to say that's qualitative method of deciding. As you very well mentioned that, if you're staying on rent and chances are that you would not have a lot of emotional values associated or attached with your own home, and it would be comparatively easier for you to move from one city to the other.
Right.
And definitely, you know, there can be huge opportunities when you move from one place to the other, and you would not, unless you have decided or you have made up your mind that, okay, this is the city that I'm going to live in for next 10 to 15 years, you would want to have wings and you would want to be able to move wherever you want to and whenever you want to. But let's say once you have decided that you need to buy a home, right? And often, the bitter truth is that your dream home comes with an EMI of usually 15 to 25 years. And this is some heavy lifting on your cash flow statement. Usually, I have seen people taking EMIs of like 40, 50, even up to 60% of their in hand. So, today I want your insights on when one should buy a home. If they have some surplus, either they should repay the home loan or if they should invest that money, right? One more thing is if they have some money, should they reduce the tenure or should they reduce the EMI?
Okay.
Now, let's be, and with this podcast, I want to be very transparent. Let's talk about the pros and cons of all the things so that our audience can take an informed decision and not a biased decision that X is better than Y. Right? So let's deep dive into it. So I have a case. Let's say a person named Atul, he wants to buy a home. Let me quickly give you a background, what he does, what is his net worth. So he works for a MNC. He is a software engineer and his current salary is 2.5 lakhs monthly. And he is 37 or approximately 38 years old. And he has a corpus of 1 crore in his mutual fund account. Plus he has EPF and some PF, which he does not want to touch.
Okay. Right.
Right. And he already has decided to buy a home. He has even finalized a home which cost approximately 2 crore.
Okay. So out of 2 crores, 1 crore he already has in his mutual fund portfolio.
Mutual fund portfolio, he already has that money.
Okay.
Right. Now, here are a few questions that I would want to ask on his behalf. The first question is, for 2 crore, he has to pay 25% upfront as down payment, right?
Right.
So one option is that he takes a loan of 1.5 CR. So what would be the EMI if the loan tenure is 20 years and rate is, let's say, 8% right now?
So for a 1.5 CR home loan, minimum amount which he has to pay, like the down payment, minimum he has to do compulsorily is 25%, which comes out to be 50 lakhs. तो 50 लाख वहां चला गया. 1.5 crore का लोन if he takes, तो उसका EMI will come around approximately 1.25 lakhs per month.
So 1.25 lakhs is what he needs to pay monthly.
Right.
And if we multiply that by 240, what is the total amount that he is repaying?
So it's around 3 CR, so double of the principal.
Double of the principal. So almost whatever he has borrowed, he has to pay that plus the same amount as interest.
Right.
So Vikas, on behalf of Atul, I'm going to ask you a few questions. Right now, the first thing is, as I mentioned, that he already has 1 crore in his mutual funds.
Okay.
Out of which he can pay 50 lakhs as EMI, and 50 lakhs can remain invested in the mutual funds account.
Okay.
Right. Now my question is, what would be his net worth after 20 years if he does that? So he pays all the 240 EMIs plus 50 lakhs remain invested in mutual funds for next 20 years. So after 20 years, what would be his net worth?
Okay. So you are saying 50 lakhs जो minimum down payment that is required is done, and balance 50 stays invested. After 20 years, we are comparing the net worth.
Right.
So in this case, the net worth is around 4.8 CR.
4.8
So उसका घर भी अपना हो गया है. In these 20 years, he now owns a real asset, which is his house, and financial assets also are there, 4.8 CR worth.
4.8 CR. That's first case. If he does split 50-50,
Okay.
50 लोन 50 दे दे डेवलपर को और 50 रखा म्यूचुअल फंड में.
हाँ. Here
Now-
I'll put a disclaimer about the assumptions which I have taken. So
yes,
here
yes,
the
please.
rate of return assumptions are 12% after tax. We need to be mindful that 12% after tax means 13.7% before tax. So this is for an aggressive investor.
No, before tax, after tax, let's simplify it. So you are saying Atul needs to make sure that his 50 lakhs are compounded at 14% annually, so that after doing all the taxation, he would have approximately 12%.
12% after tax rate we have considered.
Okay.
So this 14%, for getting this 14%, you have to be an aggressive investor. It
Very
cannot be
aggressive.
that you are very conservative investor, afraid of taking risks, equity risks. Then we have to do the calculations with a lower number.
Right. So, I mean, if you are investing 14, if you are targeting rather 14% annually, it means that all the money or most of the money would go towards equity.
Right.
And that would be a volatile journey.
Definitely.
Right. On the other hand, if you just pay off your home loan, you have guaranteed return. I mean, whatever interest, lesser interest you pay is guaranteed and tax free.
Definitely.
So that gives you a lot of peace of mind.
Right. So certainty versus a possibility of return. So certainty versus hope.
Certainty versus hope. Understood. But is it just hope, or I mean, there is definitely science behind it, because we have the data for 10 years and 20 years, and we can take out, how much market has given, like in the 20 years, what is the average return. But here is the interesting question. Let's say if somebody who is not very aggressive or who is not able to handle the volatility, because in 20 years, I'm sure there would be 2 to 3 bear markets that a person normally sees,
right?
Where he would see his capital, wipes out by 30 to 50%.
Agreed.
Right. Let's say somebody is not capable of taking that risk. So do you think they should just simply put the money in loan account? Because for them, there is not big arbitrage.
Right. You are right. Because for such a person who is not willing to take much portfolio downturns, because if you are not ready to bear that volatility, then you cannot bear the returns also.
Right.
So दोनों एक साथ मिलेगा. So for such a person, we can allocate like 25% to equity and the rest to debt. But the overall return that this portfolio will generate after tax will somehow be in the range of your home loan rate only. So not much arbitrage, or so better to pay off your loan and be done with it.
Then it makes no sense, right? Because still you are taking risk.
Right.
And your results are almost as certain as of paying a home loan.
Right.
So it's better that you just pay off your home loan, and once you are done with your home loan, then probably you can start investing.
Yes.
Right. So all these scenarios which I'm going to talk about are for someone who is an aggressive investor. Okay. So it's like very simple. If you cannot handle the volatility, you should simply put the money in your loan account.
Right.
Right. That's the best case scenario for you. But now let's say there is someone who can take, who understands the market, who understands volatility and is ready to take risk. Okay. So one case you told me that 4.8 CR would be the net worth.
Right.
Right. Now I also want to understand from you, Vikas, because in India people do not understand the concept of net worth. So by net worth, I mean, let's say your home loan is 1.5 CR. And if you have started investing, or if your 50 lakhs are invested in mutual fund account, there would be a time when even with the rate of like 12%, your mutual fund corpus would exceed your loan amount. So there would be a break-even point, and after that you are net worth positive. If I just take these two assets, mutual funds and your home loan.
Hmm.
So let's say in the first case that we have spoken,
Hmm.
अगर 50 लाख रुपए को हम इन्वेस्टेड रखते हैं
Mhm.
तो अतुल नेटवर्थ पॉजिटिव कब आएंगे?
Yeah. So net worth is basically your assets minus your liabilities. Assets here we have 50 lakhs.
Yes.
My liabilities are 1.5 CR. So I
Yes.
am net worth negative minus 1 CR.
Currently your net worth negative,
Right.
but your loan is reducing. In
And my
nature.
investments are increasing,
Yes.
compounding, and my loan is reducing every month. So
Right.
that break even point will come after 6 years, 72 months.
After 72 months.
Right.
Okay. So, I mean, isn't it good that if he keeps the money invested in the market at after 7 years or 6 years, he can pay off the home loan if he wants to, or at least he is in a capacity to. Because what I strongly believe is, and definitely I would want your expert opinion, that people just keep repaying money in the home loan. And they do not have a lot of liquid assets. Liquid assets.
Cushion. There is no cushion.
There is no.
Let's say something bad happens. You have taken such a big loan,
right?
And 1.5 CR home loan EMI is 1.25 lakhs per month.
Right. Now, most of the people operate from the psychology that I have a home loan. What if I lose my job? नौकरी चली गई तो क्या होगा? और ये सोच के they keep repaying in the home loan 1 year, 2 years. I have a different opinion on this, and definitely I would want your expert opinion. My viewpoint is that it's good to build a network so that you can pay off the loan, whenever you want. In this case, Atul has the capacity to pay off the home loan in 6 to 7 years.
He'll be net worth positive after 6 years.
After 6 years. On the other hand, if Atul had paid all the money, complete 1 crore to his developer and has taken a home loan of 1 crore, right? Even after 5 years, if he loses his job or if he wants to take a break or a sabbatical, it's not possible because there is no cushion.
There is no corpus to bank upon. Like,
right.
All the money he had, he has already paid. So definitely that maneuvering power is not there. What he can do with those 50 lakhs. Now after 6 years, he's completely free to prepay the loan or continue as it is. It's his choice. And if God forbid something happens, then he can decide. He has the flexibility. That flexibility is lost once you prepay the loan. That's the point.
Okay. You just have a mental satisfaction कि okay जल्दी loan complete हो रहा है, but eventually it's a more dangerous situation to be in कि सारा पैसा आपने home loan में डाल दिया और अभी आपके पास कोई cushion नहीं है और अगर कुछ if things go south तो आपको अपना emergency corpus में से पैसे withdraw करने पड़ेंगे.
Even why wait till 6 years? Let's say कि ये जो 50 lakhs उसके पास थे उसने invest कर दिए instead of prepaying the loan and after 1 year itself उसकी job, something happens to his job and he loses his job, then he still has the flexibility to maneuver. He can put those 50 lakhs into power. वो उसके पास job से income नहीं आ रही है, but he can still use that 50 lakhs to prepay, like to pay the EMIs. So he has that flexibility. Otherwise, जो अगर वो prepay कर देता, then though the EMIs will reduce, but from where will that money come?
Understood. So I mean that's a good way to think कि आप अपना network बनाते रहो, लोन चल रहा है आप उसको पैरेलली चलने दो. While that was one case जहाँ पे हमने ये बात करी कि अगर हम पूरा 50-50 कर दें, 50 लाख रुपए इन्वेस्ट करें, 50 लाख रुपए रख दें तो क्या होगा. Now I have another situation for you. Let's say कि पूरा 1 करोड़ रुपए होम लोन में डाल दिया, 1 करोड़ रुपए का लोन लिया और EMI का अमाउंट रिड्यूस करा लिया. पहले 1.5 करोड़ का लोन था, अब 1 करोड़ का लोन है. तो अब कितना EMI बनेगा और कितना डिफरेंस है पुरानी और नई EMI में?
Okay, so if he decides कि the tenure is to be kept 20 years only, then जो EMI पहले 1.25 lakhs थी, that will reduce to 83,000,
83,000, तो डिफरेंस आया आपका अप्रोक्सीमेटली
42,000.
42,000 का. Now let's say he starts investing that 42,000
For the
in
next 20
SIP.
years. हाँ.
Yes, right. Now can you tell me when would he be net worth positive? कि वो SIP को इन्वेस्ट करते करते वो एक ब्रेक इवन का पॉइंट कहाँ पे आएगा? When his mutual fund assets are more than his is exceeding his liability, home loan liability.
Right. So in this case, that net worth positive point will come after 102 months, which is about 9 years.
9 years, okay. तो पहले केस में अगर वो 50 लाख रखता तो 6 साल में आ रहा था, अभी वो 9 साल में हो गया.
Right.
और अगर थर्ड केस है कि वो पूरा का पूरा अमाउंट पे कर दे, 1 करोड़ का 1 करोड़ डेवलपर को दे दे, सिर्फ 1 करोड़ का लोन ले और EMI 1,25,000 ही रहने दे.
Okay.
उस केस में क्या होगा, कब वो उसका लोन पे
It is 9.5 years. So the loan will be repaid in 114 months. और उसके बाद जो बैलेंस है 126 मंथ्स पहले खत्म हो जाएगा. बेसिकली लोन आपने 240 मंथ्स की जगह आधे टाइम में ही खत्म कर दिया.
तो 10 साल में आपका खत्म हो जाएगा.
9.5 साल में.
तो आप कह रहे हो सेकंड और थर्ड केस दोनों में 9.5 साल में हो रहा है.
9.5 साल एंड 9.25 साल.
ओके, मतलब 2-3 महीने का ही.
102 है और 114 है, लाइक 12 मंथ्स का फर्क है. 1 साल का फर्क है.
1 साल का फर्क है. एक 9 साल और एक 10 साल के अप्रोक्सीमेटली. ओके, बट डेफिनेटली आपकी जो पेइंग कैपेसिटी है और आपकी जो शॉक एब्जॉर्प्शन कैपेसिटी है वो तो आपकी खत्म हो जाती है as soon as you have paid all the money that you have.
हाँ, you lose your flexibility, like you talked. जॉब में कुछ प्रॉब्लम आ गई, सबैटिकल लेना है, you don't have any option. Now you have to pay that home loan first before you think about anything else.
Understood. But let's say कि अतुल एक अग्रेसिव इन्वेस्टर भी है, इसमें रिस्क क्या क्या है जो इमीडिएटली अतुल को फोर्सी करने चाहिए? फॉर एग्जांपल, एक तो मेरे को सिंपल समझ में आता है कि जैसे हमने बात भी की कि आपने लोन अकाउंट में पैसा डाला, गारंटेड आपकी टैक्स फ्री सेविंग हो गई, क्योंकि जो इंटरेस्ट कम हुआ वो आपको अमाउंट नहीं देना और उस पर कोई टैक्स भी नहीं लगेगा डेफिनेटली. राइट. बट एक तरफ आपको वोलेटिलिटी का रिस्क है और दूसरा आपको टैक्स भी देना होगा. एक मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है कि लेट्स से कि एक सीक्वेंस रिस्क के बारे में मैं समझना चाहूंगा आपसे कि किसी ने पैसा डाला, आधा पैसा म्यूचुअल फंड में रखा और आधा पैसा तो पे ही कर दिया, और वही मार्केट गिर जाती है 30%. सो उस केस में इज दैट अ रिस्क one needs to understand?
Definitely this point is there and nobody is talking about this. तो हम सीधा we also assume that 12% रिटर्न आएगा sequentially, but markets do not work that way. कभी +50 भी आएगा किसी साल -40 भी जाएगा. So it's all part of the game. आपने जब पैसा लगाया उसी टाइम पे लेट्स से कि 30% मार्केट डाउन चला गया, तो डेफिनेटली there will be an impact. जो हमारे assumptions थे 12% के, they may not be true. And आपको जो आर्बिट्राज था हमारा 8 और 12 का, वो you lose on that.
Okay, so that
because let's और इसमें एक डेटा पॉइंट हम वो पिक भी कर सकते हैं ना. At the time of COVID 2020, there was a study which showed that your small cap mutual funds, they have given negative or almost zero returns. 10-year SIPs in small caps were giving zero returns in March of 2020. So even after 10 years, which is considered to be a long term, your SIPs can give you zero returns. And then what's the whole point on
then you would regret your decision.
Right,
you would think I should have paid the home loan. So one needs to be prepared, well prepared, and need to have a lot of mental toughness that 20 साल में मार्केट बहुत बार ऊपर नीचे होगा. Well, that is one risk. Sequence risk की हमने बात की. The biggest risk, and that I have seen people suffering and people ignore it, is the risk of higher interest rate. कि आज आपने जिस रेट पे लोन लिया, अगर इंटरेस्ट रेट बढ़ जाता है, उस केस में क्या होगा? फॉर एग्जाम्पल, anybody who could afford a 2 BHK bought a 3 BHK during COVID because they thought कि होम लोन का जो परसेंटेज है दैट इज अराउंड 6.3 6.5,
Yeah, yeah.
right?
6 to 6.5 it was there in
Right.
2020. Yeah.
And they completely forgot कि एक टाइम पे आके ये बढ़ भी सकता है,
Hmm.
but the same interest rate has increased from 6 to approximately 8%.
Hmm.
तो almost 25% का jump हो गया वहां से.
Hmm.
अभी I see those people struggling. So do you think एक ऐसा रिस्क है जिसको लोग ध्यान में नहीं रखते while buying a home?
So before taking the loan हमने बात करी थी रूट्स वर्सेस विंग्स की. Now we have decided, अभी उस कंसेप्ट पे फिर से जाते हैं कि दो पॉइंट है मेरी तरफ से which I always believe if both are true then go buy a home. रूट्स वर्सेस विंग्स मैंने डिसाइड कर लिया, रूट्स मेरे को चाहिए. नाउ आई हैव डिसाइडेड कि मैं इसी शहर में रहूँगा, यहीं पे मेरे को अपनी जड़ फैलानी है. नाउ अब घर कितने का लेना है और कब लेना है, मेरी पेइंग कैपेसिटी है क्या उतना लोन चुकाने की. तो देयर इज अ कंसेप्ट कॉल्ड डेट सर्विस रेशियो कि आपकी ईएमआईज कितने जा रही हैं डिवाइडेड बाय योर मंथली नेट इन हैंड पे. तो दैट रेशियो शुड बी नॉट मोर देन 40% इन वर्स्ट केस. Ideally it should be 30-35%.
So debt to service ratio is basically अगर आप let's say 1 लाख रुपए कमाते हो तो आपकी ईएमआई जो है वो 40,000 रुपए से ऊपर नहीं होनी चाहिए.
Right.
बट कोविड में तो ऐसा हुआ कि लेट्स से कि आप 1 लाख रुपए कमाते थे, आपने 40,000 की ईएमआई बनवा ली, उसके बाद रेट बढ़ गए 25%.
हाँ.
अभी सिंस क्योंकि यू आर ऑलरेडी एट अ हायर साइड, 40,000
Yes, yes, yes.
40% इज अ डिसेंट अमाउंट राइट फॉर ऑफ सैलरी. तो अभी होम लोन का उनका टेन्योर बढ़ गया. आई नो अ पर्सन जिसका होम लोन का टेन्योर इज टिल द एज ऑफ 67, right?
Yes.
And I'm whenever I meet him or talk to him, you know, I'm completely scared कि भाई 67 तक कैसे कोई होम लोन पे कर सकता है. इंटरेस्ट रेट और सीक्वेंस रिस्क, मार्केट वॉलेटिलिटी, इनमें से बड़ा रिस्क क्या है?
दोनों ही अपनी जगह इम्पोर्टेंट है, बट आई गेस जो इंटरेस्ट रेट रिस्क है वो थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा सिवियर है बिकॉज यू टेक अ होम लोन डिसाइड ऑन योर बजट कंसिडरिंग आज के टाइम पे क्या लोन का इंटरेस्ट रेट है. बट लोन रेट्स कैन इंक्रीज सडनली. लाइक अभी जो हम देख रहे थे कोविड की आपने बात करी, इंडिया के रेट्स वर 6 to 6.5 एंड नाउ दे आर 8% होम लोन के जो रेट्स हैं. यूएस में अगर आप पूछोगे जनवरी ऑफ 2021 में होम लोन रेट्स वर 2.7% एंड टुडे दे आर 6%. सो ऑलमोस्ट डबल हो गए हैं. बीच में 7.5% भी थे. अभी 3-4 महीना पहले दे वर इन द रेंज ऑफ 7.5%. सो ऑलमोस्ट डबल हो गए हैं इन अ स्पैन ऑफ 4 years. सो दैट आई थिंक इज अ बिगर रिस्क कि आपकी ईएमआई या आपका टेन्योर सडनली बहुत ज़्यादा शूट अप हो जाएगा, विच वी डोंट रियलाइज व्हेन वी आर लाइक वी ह्यूमन बीइंग्स हैव दिस टेंडेंसी ऑफ थिंकिंग इन लीनियर टर्म्स कि आज जो है या पिछले 5 महीने का 6 साल का जो भी रिकॉर्ड है वही कंटिन्यू होता रहेगा. बट दैट इज नॉट हाउ things
people
work.
underestimate interest rate risk.
Yes.
And I mean, when people invest in the market, I see everybody talk about last 5 years average return, last 5 years, last 10 years average return. But when they go to buy a home loan, nobody talks about the average home loan rate. आज क्या है, कम से कम पे मिल रहा है, ले लो. Right. That's what the psychology is. So one is the sequence of risk is there. बट स्टिल उसमें तो आपके पास ऑप्शन है कि अगर आप अपना बिहेवियर कंट्रोल में रखते हो और उसको झेल लेते हो आप, तो मार्केट एक दिन ऊपर आ जाएगी एंड यू वुड बी इन अ बेटर सिचुएशन. बट इंटरेस्ट रेट वाले में तो ऑप्शन ही नहीं है आपके पास.
यस, इट इज आउट ऑफ योर कंट्रोल. आपका जो मैं यूएस की बात बता रहा था, 5 years में आपके रेट डबल हो गए. तो लेट्स इमेजिन कि आज हमारे 8% से 16% हो गए, तो हाउ विल यू मैनेज? नहीं, इट्स बियॉन्ड इमेजिनेशन.
एंड आई गेस ये डबल मार पड़ता होगा क्योंकि अगर इंटरेस्ट रेट इतने हाइक हो रहे हैं,
राइट,
इसका मतलब ये कि ओवरऑल इन्फ्लेशन भी बहुत हाइक है. तो जो आपके रेगुलर एक्सपेंसेस थे वो भी हाई हो गए. एट द सेम टाइम आपके ऊपर ईएमआई का बर्डन भी ज्यादा आ गया.
और इसकी कोई बात नहीं करता है. दिस इज नोवेयर डिस्कस्ड. बट ये एक रियल रिस्क है. मतलब डरा नहीं रहे हम, बट डेफिनेटली व्हाइल टेकिंग योर होम लोन, मैं अपनी बात बताऊं, हमने भी जब घर लिया था तो वी यूजुअली यही रहता है कि वी स्ट्रेच आवर बजट्स. 1 करोड़ का बजट है तो चलो थोड़ा सा और अच्छा देख लेते हैं.
तो एक ही बार लेते हैं ना, तो अच्छा लेते हैं.
हाँ, दो वी डिड नॉट मेक दैट मिस्टेक कि बजट 2 BHK का है तो 3 BHK पे चले गए. वी बॉट अ 2 BHK फर्स्ट Then gradually in next 5-7 years we bought a 3 BHK. So
Okay.
sensible, like fortunately we did not make that mistake कि सीधा 3 BHK पे चले गए.
But did your property also appreciate the one that you bought earlier?
Yeah.
Okay. So you were lucky on both the sides.
हाँ.
You were smart and lucky कि आपका property का rate भी उस time पे बढ़ गया. If you're working for 25 to 30 years and if you have taken a home loan, so I was just doing some random calculation someday and realize हुआ कि आपकी 6 से 7 साल की जो earning होती है वो तो इसी में चली जाती है. मतलब for 6 to 7 years you just worked to buy a home, right? That's another angle to look at it. So let's say कि अभी किसी को लोन लेना है, everybody talks about the quantitative part. We also have spoken about the quantitative part. Help me understand कि और क्या क्या चीजें हैं जो चेक पे रखनी चाहिए. Emergency corpus I would say एक होना चाहिए.
राइट. इमरजेंसी कॉर्पस हो गया आपका. इंश्योरेंसेज यू हैव टू टेक केयर. आपने जो होम लोन लिया है आपका टर्म इंश्योरेंस डेफिनेटली शुड बी देयर. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दैट whatever loan you are taking, take a reducing इंश्योरेंस फॉर दैट ऑल्सो, कि जैसे जैसे आपका प्रिंसिपल कम हो वो इंश्योरेंस की वैल्यू कम होती है. सो दोज ऑप्शंस आर अवेलेबल इन द मार्केट. यू शुड बाय दैट इंश्योरेंस ऑल्सो.
ओके. तो आपने जो भी अपना लोन लिया है उसको भी आपको इंश्योर करके रखना चाहिए ताकि वो लायबिलिटी ट्रांसफर ना हो इन केस ऑफ
राइट
अनफोर्सीन इवेंट. ओके. तो इसके अलावा दो रिस्क की हमने बात करी. सीक्वेंस रिस्क अगर आप मार्केट में इन्वेस्ट करते हो, और एक इंटरेस्ट रेट रिस्क जो कि आपके कंट्रोल में नहीं है, बट यू शुड बी प्रिपेयर्ड फॉर इट. दैट इज व्हाई आई बिलीव कि आपका डेट सर्विस रेशियो 40% से ज्यादा एक्सीड नहीं करना चाहिए, क्योंकि वो कभी भी शूट अप भी कर सकता है वो.
राइट. 40 इज लाइक द मतलब अलार्म रेंज.
अलार्म
आइडियली 35
कि नाक तक पानी आ जाए.
सो वी वर टॉकिंग अबाउट इंश्योरेंसेज. उसमें एक इंश्योरेंस जो हम यूजुअली भूल जाते हैं, आप घर का भी इंश्योरेंस कराइए. द प्रॉपर्टी ऑन विच यू आर टेकिंग अ लोन, गेट दैट इंश्योर्ड आल्सो अगेंस्ट रिस्क ऑफ फायर,
ओके,
earthquake, any other calamity like plane crash. So get your house also insured.
Okay. So Vikas, one thing I forgot to ask. तो पहले वाले केस में तो आपने बता दिया था. Sorry, I'm going back कि अगर 50 लाख रुपए इन्वेस्टेड रखते हैं तो नेटवर्थ बनती है 20 साल में अप्रोक्सीमेटली 4.8 CR. सेकंड केस में लेट्स से कि अगर मैं होम लोन में 1 करोड़ रुपए डाल देता हूँ,
Okay.
और 1 करोड़ का मैं लोन लेता हूँ,
टेन्योर कम करा लेता हूँ और टेन्योर मेरा रिड्यूस होके 114 मंथ्स का हो जाएगा.
उसके बाद में SIP स्टार्ट कर दूंगा उस अमाउंट.
Remaining
तो उस केस
amount
में
में
कितना
मैं-
मेरा बनेगा, नेटवर्थ कितना बनेगा मेरा?
नेटवर्थ विल बी अराउंड 3 CR.
3 CR. ओके. और अगर मैं तीसरा ऑप्शन जो है जिसमें कि मैं EMI रिड्यूस करा लूँ, उसको इन्वेस्ट करता रहूँ, उस केस में कितना नेटवर्थ बनेगा?
So in that case networth will be 3.8 CR.
ओके. सो इस केस में जो क्लियर विनर है वो है लमसम, कि लमसम आपने डाल के छोड़ दिया, उसको 20 साल मिला कंपाउंडिंग के लिए, तो बहुत पैसा बन गया. बट नाउ माय क्वेश्चन इज, लेट्स से कि अभी तो हम बात कर रहे हैं 20 साल की. अभी किसी के पास पैसा आया जब वो ऑलरेडी 10 साल तक होम लोन चुका था. एक पॉलिसी मैच्योर होती है, LIC मैच्योर होती है किसी की, और अभी तक वो बंदा ऑलरेडी 10 साल लोन पे कर चुका है. तो अब उसको क्या करना चाहिए? वो पैसा होम लोन में डालना चाहिए, क्योंकि मेरे हिसाब से तो यहाँ पे रिस्क थोड़ा सा बढ़ गया है, या फिर सीधा रीपे कर दे होम लोन में?
को कोई दिमाग नहीं लगाना चाहिए, सीधा अपना जाओ होम लोन को प्रीपे कर दो, प्रिंसिपल अमाउंट कम करा लो. बिकॉज अब हमारे पास ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं बचा है. वी ओनली हैव 10 years लेफ्ट. इन्वेस्टमेंट के लिए भी टाइम नहीं है. वी कैन नॉट अज्यूम लीनियरली अज्यूम कि 12% उसको श्योर शॉर्ट मिल ही जाएगा. सो बेटर टू प्रीपे द लोन एंड गेट डन विद इट.
ओके.
जो भी अमाउंट आ रहा है उससे अपना लोन प्रीपे करता रहे.
ओके.
और उसके बाद इन्वेस्टमेंट स्टार्ट कर ले. दैट विल बी सजेस्टेड.
ओके. तो मतलब अनलेस कि आपके पास 15-20 साल हैं कंपाउंडिंग के लिए,
हाँ,
और तो आप इट्स बेटर कि आप होम लोन रीपे कर दो, उसके बाद आप अपना नेटवर्थ क्रिएशन का जर्नी स्टार्ट कर दो. बट डेफिनेटली इफ यू हैव मोर देन 11-12 years, तो इट्स गुड टू इन्वेस्ट.
वो हमने देखा ना, स्मॉल कैप में 10 साल में भी रिटर्न्स आर 0 और ऑलमोस्ट 0. सो देयर इज नो पॉइंट इन टेकिंग दैट रिस्क. एक सर्टेन आपको 8% पे आपको श्योर शॉट यू आर गेटिंग दैट होम लोन, प्रीपे करोगे तो उतना रिटर्न मिल रहा है, उतना पे करो। और
करेक्ट। तो अभी तो हमने बात की, बहुत जनरल डिस्कशन किया। अभी लेट्स से कि यू आर अ फाइनेंशियल एक्सपर्ट, यू आर वन ऑफ द बेस्ट फाइनेंशियल प्लानर्स इन इंडिया। अभी मैं बात करता हूँ आपसे कि इफ यू आर डूइंग योर फायर प्लानिंग, तो कुछ आपको वन वर्ड में आंसर करना है, कुछ रैपिड फायर।
अच्छा, रैपिड फायर।
हाँ, कुछ क्वेश्चंस हैं मेरे पास।
ओके।
इज होम लोन अ लेवरेज और अ बिग डेट ट्रैप?
लेवरेज।
इफ इंटरेस्ट रेट गोज अप, increase your tenure or increase your EMI amount?
इंक्रीज माई टेन्योर, बिकॉज EMI इंक्रीज करने का ऑप्शन हर एक के पास नहीं होता। यू हैव certain expenses which are already going on, so I'll increase my tenure. Okay.
Which is high risk, longer tenure or very high EMI?
Very high EMI.
Loan tenure remaining is less than 8 years. You got 20 lakhs from your insurance. Prepay or invest?
Prepay.
Withdraw PF to repay home loan. A lot of people do it.
No, no, no. Don't withdraw PF for your marriage also. Take a personal loan and prepay it as soon as possible.
Okay. Market sees 100% growth in last 2 years. Should you pull off 50% and withdraw and put that money in your home loan account or remain invested?
Prepay home loan.
Markets are down by 30%. Take a home loan top up, invest that money in the markets or not?
Well, I would prefer that if I get a loan. But as Charlie Munger said, two biggest reasons for failure of a person: debt and liquor, daru.
Okay.
So avoid those two D's.
So debt नहीं लेना है लेने
हाँ,
की।
I would want to, but as a rule, I would avoid.
I mean, it's lucrative
Hmm.
and might make sense, but still, just to make sure कि investing behavior is intact, one should not do it.
Yeah.
All right. So, because today we discussed about the qualitative and quantitative methods of decision making. If one should buy a home or should not buy, if one should definitely renting की तो हमने बात ही नहीं की, क्योंकि सर्च करो बहुत सारा कुछ मिल जाएगा rent versus buying. So and I'm not of the belief कि you can always stay on rent. Everybody needs a place at certain point in time, right? But अगर हमारी audience को check करना हो कि let's say they have an amount which they want to check, तो वो कहाँ पे जाके check कर सकते हैं?
हाँ, तो on our website we do have this home loan prepayment calculator, which is available at amcapitals.in. You can go on that website, go into resources tab, and there you will find calculators, and there you have a home loan prepayment calculator. You can put the amount which you want to prepay and amount of rate of return that you can expect, your home loan rate. So it will tell you the three scenarios which we discussed. It will tell you what is your corpus or the net worth which is there after certain tenure.
And if you have a home loan and you are confused if you should repay, or you have a very difficult financial situation at home but home loan is still running, we'll mention our number in the description box. You can give us a call and we can do customization for you, what is the best thing that can be done in your case. All right, Vikas. So I would want to thank you for taking out time.
Thank you.
And I hope to see you again with another good topic for our audience.
Sure.
And I hope this podcast would help you make an informed decision that if you should buy, I mean, if is not a question, when should you buy and what should you do once you have the money? Thank you for watching. Have a good day.